So let's start with Express.js. We were learning about the routes, and we have created several routes for our app. Like we have created controllers and we have created routes. And inside this, we have created user routes and product routes. And after that, user controller and product controller, right? So I will remove this from here just for demonstration purpose. So I will clear the terminal and we will now start our app, because this is app.js. So we will write node-mon app. So our example app is listening on port 3000. So now we can run our app on localhost 3000. So actually in our app there is nothing at our root route. Okay, so because we have created, let's close this, because we have created /user here, so everything inside this user routes will come under the address localhost 3000/user and then /id or /update. So if I write here user 1, so as you can see we have a user ID 1, because inside this we have used user control.getUser, and inside this users controller getUser we are fetching the parameter ID from parameters. So one is a parameter here, so ID. Okay, so we are returning the JSON user ID. Okay, so in the same way, if I use user update, we should be getting a, so let's start our postman. Let's start our postman app. Let's start it. We will check in the postman, because in the checking the browser is not very user friendly. If you are working with backend, you must check it with postman, right? So user update, user update. So this is let's close this. This is actually throwing an error, because in the user controller we have user request.body or .user ID. So actually we do not have a body. If we let it just replace it here. Okay, so inside our body we are sending the user ID 1. Okay, so we are sending the JSON response. Okay, so but now we want to read this body inside our request, right? We are sending request inside that body user ID. To do that, inside our user routes we have to use router dot use express.body parser. If I check it again, Okay, right. So wait a minute, how we're using body parser.json. So we have to write actually body parser.json, right? So we want to accept the now our app is running. We want to accept the JSON response, right? So then send it. We will now getting the message user updated. So our body parser is working properly. We are getting the body inside this user data, right? So we can even improve this message, or we can improve it by writing rest.json. We want to send user ID of, let it let's send also the name of user, like name let's write it like Dwayne, right? We are taking its name. After that we can also write its city. City might be LA, right? So now in our body we are sending this, right? So here we are getting the user data. Let's destructure the user data from request.body. We are getting the user ID, or we can even convert it to ID, right? Simple. ID, name, city, right? So ID can be ID, name can be name, and message can be inside backticks we can write user with ID updated, right? So we can even make it even shorter code by removing this, it will work, right? So name, city, let's also write city. Now we will send the response request, and we are getting ID 1, name Dwayne, city LA, and message user with ID 1 is updated. Now if we write something else like ID 4 and just name it like John, if I send the response again, we're getting ID 4 John LA, user ID with ID 4, user with ID 4 updated. So our post request is working accordingly, right? So now we were also, like in previous stream, working about getting the static images, right? So for that we can use, actually let's go to the Express documentation. They are saying static files. Okay, so with this actually line of code you can use code to serve images, CSS files, JavaScript files in a directory named public. So inside the public, I have created the png, express.png and file.txt, right? So now we want this app to use express.static app.use express.static public. So inside our address now, localhost, if I write express.png, so we are getting the Express.js png. So if I use this simply static public, it will render or serve the static files at the root path. Suppose you have to write at the root express.png, and in the same way we have another file.txt, so it is also serving the text files. There's no problem in that. So suppose you want to serve the files inside static path, like static slash file.txt, and after that we can use app.use and then static slash static, then you can use express dot static now we will write express.static public. Okay, now our file should be served from static, right? Okay, it's working. It's working on both paths because we have not removed this code. Now you can see it's not servable on this route. We have to use static slash file.txt, and in the same way express.png, right? So express.png served from our app. Just remove this code. Okay, so in the same way, like we have used user route, in the same way we can use app.use. Let's put this code inside this. Let's write routes here, and let's write static files here. Okay, so remove this route, remove this path. Now we can import the product routes, because we also have a product controller. Product routes, and product routes, right? So inside the routes, product routes, we have used slash product slash update, but we can actually improve our code by writing here slash product routes, right? So product routes, we will remove this products from here. We will write get. We will also remove product slash product from this. We don't have to use because we have used here product, and inside this we have used product routes. These are product routes, and inside this there is controller, right? Again we have to use router dot use. We have to use body parser to get the request body inside our responses, inside our functions. Now if I open product controller, okay, inside, instead of as.send, simply we can write JSON here, and we can again write it product. We can write product details of product ID, ID fetched. We can say it fetched, right? So inside our body, we can actually get request.body from our body. Now let's go to our postman. We have, I think, used, let's just remove this. We will write product slash 1. Okay. I think in the users, we are using query parameters like user /5. Okay. Okay, we should also be using parameters here. Inside our product routes, just write get column ID. Okay, so instead of body, we are getting ID from params. You can also improve this code. We will just destructure the params and write ID. We are making our code shorter because this is how you can write your code quickly. Product controller. Okay, so ID is fetched. Let's see if we're getting the response. Oh, before, okay, no. Well, we have our query. It will work. There is some error. Cannot get product 1. Let me check it. Product. Okay, product get 1. Product details of product ID 1 fetched. So okay, so this get doesn't seem like very good path for our site. We will remove this, and in the product controller, product routes, we will remove this get. Okay, so our now routes is shorter and simpler, right? Product /1, we will get the details. In the update, we have to actually send the body, right? We will simply write the message here. Product with ID, ID updated. Product with ID updated. Now go to our post request, because we have used the post with update product. We will go to post. We will create a new tab and just copy localhost from here, paste it here, and we'll write product update. Okay, so now we will send the body, right? So we'll send raw, then we will select JSON. We will send ID. and let's send one. Okay, let's send the ID 1. Okay, so let's test this. Will it work? Okay, it's working. Product details of product ID. We have not get the ID. Oh, it's a post request. We have to select the post. Yes, product with ID 1 updated. Right. So now it's working. So I think both our routes, user controller, user routes, and product routes are working properly. Okay. This is products controller. This is our user controller. Okay, thank you, Hustler Life. Hustler Life for liking the stream. Okay, so we have used this static files, we served this, we have done this. Now actually we can explore more Express.js examples. There are lots of examples, right? So here is an example of like authentication. If we want to use authentication, content negotiation, cookie sessions, cookies, downloads, CGS, error pages, hello world, markdown. Okay, so let's first explore cookies, working with the cookies. Okay. Parses request cookies. We are actually sending cookies with the request. Okay, populating requested cookies and requested signed cookies when the secret is passed, used for signing the cookies. Okay, app.get, if cookie remember, send remembered, click, send from method post, app.get, forget, clear cookie, post, they have used cookies inside index.ts. Okay, just close all these routes. We are in our app.js. Inside this, so they have used cookie parser, right? So they also used logger. Just copy this, and we are learning about cookies. Let's learn about cookies. Wait a minute, we want to import it here. just change it to const logger is equal to require Morgan cookie parser. Custom log. They also use some test, but we will not be using here. Now we will tell our app to use cookie parser. We will write a secret here, right? So okay, we will write a app.use cookie parser, my secret here, and after that we will use this line to parse extra form URL encoded. Okay, we'll use this app.use express URL encoded. So extended false. Now at our root app.get. Okay, let's try to write this code. App.get at our root path. We can actually use arrow functions. If request.cookies.remember as not send remembered. Okay. If cookies.remember. Okay. So this might not be as simple as this. In the postman, let me see if we can send some cookies. Inside our local host. Not getting anything. Let me console log it. Request.cookies. Right. So okay, I think there is some problem. Cannot find module Morgan. We have to install it. We have to also have to install npm cookie parser. What is it? Let's see what's a cookie parser. Npm cookie parser. Let's see what it is. Cookie parser. Parse cookies header and populate request.cookies with an object keyed by cookie names. Optionally, you may enable signed cookie support by passing secret string which assigns a request.secret, so it may be used by other middleware. Okay, so cookie parser. Here is the example they have given. Is there a dark mode for this? Okay. App.get cookies that do not have been signed. Console log cookies, requested cookies. Okay. So let's close this. Now our app is running successfully. Let's go to our we have got something. Okay, so next auth session token. This is our token. Check this to remember me. Okay, I think We will also use app.get forget. Here we have used res.clear cookie. Cookie name is remember, and res.redirect back. Okay, so we will use here. We'll also write this cookie code here. Just remove this. Let's write it here. Okay, app.get at this root path console.log request.cookies. Okay. If cookies don't remember, I think it's not remembered. So that's why our else code is running. It is a form that is saying us to its method is post check to label input submit. App.post. There is also a post request for this. Minute is equals to, okay, so many minutes. If requester body dot remember is dot cookie remember 1 max age minute as dot redirect back. Okay. Let me again go to this submit remembered. Okay, so now if we again go to this, okay, our cookie is remembered. So who has remembered our cookie? Remember one. So cookie parser, what it does, create a new cookie parser middleware function using the given secret and options. Secret is string or array used for signing cookies. This is optional. If not specified, will not parse signed cookies. If a string is provided, this is used as a secret. If an array is provided, an attempt will be made to unsign cookie with this secret order. Options. Okay, middleware will parse cookies header on the request and expose the cookie data as property requested cookies. Okay. If a secret was provided as a property requested on signed cookies, these properties are name values pairs of cookie names to cookie value. Let's go to our example. If not module.parents, have to listen. Okay, not here, not here. App.use cookie parser. Where is the cookie parser? Okay, cookie parser, my secret is here. Next. Now our cookie is remembered. Let's click to forget it. Okay. We are going click this to remember me, then submit. We are remembered. Let's close this. remembered, our cookies remembered. So this is how we can actually store cookies for a website. Okay. What's inside forget? If I don't redirect to back, then if I check forget here, if I will forget in this address, will it work? This will return the past JSON value if it was a JSON cookie, otherwise it will return the past value. Okay. So this was example of cookies. Now let's get the example of user sessions. I think for that we have to use Redis, right? It's dealing in it from session store. First time visiting. Okay, we will also test this. This is our cookies. Now we will test session or session code. So okay, session index.js. So it's inside Redis.js. I think we have to also use this Express session module for implementing the session. Const session is equal to require Express session So again we have to install our Express session npm package. So we have installed our npm package, so it will be, now our app is working fine. Okay. Now populates, let's just zoom it. This code will populate request.session. Okay, app.use session, just paste it here. We are app.use session. Then inside this we will use a object inside the resave files. Don't save session if unmodified. Save uninitialized false. Do not create a session until something is told. Secret keyboard cat. This is a secret, our session secret. App.cat app.cat just convert into array function. So inside this first body is an empty string. If request.session.views Increase the request or session views by 1, else request or session views is equals to 1. Okay. Body equal first time visiting, view this page in several browsers. Rest not send body. Okay, viewed. Request or session strong. Let's again go to our local host. What's the problem? Just convert into let. Okay, here we are seeing something. First time visiting, view this page in several browsers. Just copy this and again viewed 2 times. So I think our session is stored here. When we first visited it, our session was not stored. We have visited first time. So again, if I visit it, viewed 3 times, viewed 4 times. Okay, so this was very easy example. So this is the session, how we create session. Okay, let me do one thing. I will open this inside another browser window. Just copy this, open. Okay, so let's close this. Let's close this. Let's go to another window, localhost. Okay, again we are visiting first time, so I think session remains until your browser window is opened. Okay, okay, this is the session, right? Let's close this, close this. Okay, we have implemented our sessions. So we have explored the cookies, we explored the session. So actually we can actually expand this example if we have something like front end in React that I will cover later, right? So resave false, save uninitialized false. They have used the npm package express session. Just take a quick look on this session, express session. So here is how we can use create a session middleware with the given options. Session data is not saved in cookie itself, just the session ID. Session data is stored server side. Okay, this is how we can use it, the session. Please note that security is recommended option. However, it requires an HTTPS enabled website. HTTPS necessary for secure cookies. If secure is set and you access your site over HTTP, cookie will not be set. If you have your Node.js behind the proxy and are using secure true, you need to set trust proxy in Express for using secure cookies in production, but allowing for testing in development. The following example enabling the setup based on node env in Express. If app.get env is production, app.set trust proxy first, server secure cookies. Okay. So this was the example of session and cookies. So let's see what's other examples are there in the Express documentation. So we have not used any template engine as of now. We will also try that. We have used work with static files. Okay. Let's try EGS. Okay. Inside Express.js. So here is our EGS. I think its code is written inside views. Header.html. This is a pure HTML. Wait. So how it's done? Script HTML EGS to render. It will render the HTML. Okay. We will close this. EGS. Okay, we'll explore how we can now work with EGS. We have to first import EGS. It is like a way of rendering HTML in our backend. So we are doing that here. In our index.js, we have to write okay, register EGS as HTML. If we did not call this, we would need to name our views like 4.egs instead of 4.html. The express method is simply a function that engines use to hook into Express view system by default. So if we want to change EGS to foo.html, we simply pass any function, in this case EGS. Okay. We will write here app engine.html required EGS Express. Our app is working fine. Pass to our public directory. We already used that. Okay, without this you would need to supply the extension to res.render, like res.render user.html. Okay, just set app.set as view engine. Let's write here, just close this terminal. Now we are working with EGS app.set view engine HTML. Dummy users, they have created some dummy users. Okay, why it's opening again and again. So after that, on our actually instead of writing every code inside our app.js we can make a folder, I think, like even routes. Okay, just make egs.js. Right, so we will write here app.use egs. Copy this code and paste it here. Remove this unnecessary things. Remove this. Everything is okay. Remove the body parser. We do not actually, I think, need body parser here. Okay, so here we will write our EGS code. In EGS we will write router.use EGS. Then we'll set this as our view engine. We will set router.set view engine HTML. Okay, have we used we have already written app.engine here. If we don't have to use it there. Close this. Okay, what's next? Now we will write or we can write router.get rest.render users users EGS example, some users. Okay, if we go to our EGS, let's go to localhost / EGS. Cannot get EGS. Why? Okay, let's also paste these users here. Where I have written, okay, we just write it here. app.use EGS. Then we will import EGS. Just import EGS from here. Require from routes EGS. Okay, and we'll write here EGS. Okay, there is some problem. Okay, so we cannot write this code here. We have to write this code here. App.set. Now our app is working. Fail to look up views as in view directory. I think we have not created our views. We have not created our views. Let's create our views. But where they have used it? Mm, for now, just write user.html inside views. Hmm. Okay, just create a new folder, views. Inside this, create a users.html. Paste our whole code here. This is our EGS code. Okay. Okay, we have to also write header.html. For now, just remove this footer.html. Okay, we will only use header.html inside this. Where is our header.html? Okay. Now again, if I refresh this, now okay, our users are shown in a list like Toby, Loki, Jane, and their email IDs. So our EGS template engine is working. That's great. This is embedded JavaScript templating. So if you want to render your front ends entirely in server side, you can use this. Okay, so I'll be back in a minute. So this is our header.html. It has a title, which you can see. Title is title. Let's write something. Simply EGS. Okay, our title is changed. Now close this. Now we can actually make some changes. This is EGS example. If we refresh it, this is EGS example. So that's how you can render HTML inside your app. So now inside our views we also had a footer.html. Okay, this is very simple. We will not use this. EGS. Okay, style sheets. You can also use EGS public. Okay, let me use the style sheets. Do I need to use it here? Let me check it. Inside public style sheets, we can create style.css, and we can write some code for body. Let's check if it's worked. Let's write the padding something like 15 rem. Padding's not working correctly. I think there must be something to include the styles. So they have used this app.use. We will use the same line of code inside our app.use express.static path.join direct name public. Okay, let's now refresh it. There is some issues. I think path is not defined. Let's use the path from path library. Path app is working now. Okay, now our style sheets are applied. If we go to style, if we reduce the padding, refresh it. Okay, background color something blue. Let's just make it a little bit darker. Text color white. Okay, right. So our style sheet is working very good. Okay, So this was the example of EGS. If I, for example, write some more name, more data inside it, let's write Sam, email, sam@gmail.com. Just refresh it. Okay, we have new records of Sam. So everything inside EGS is working now. So inside this, yeah, they've used users for each. They are using the JavaScript inside this for each function of JavaScript, and they are running the list inside this. After that, we have username, okay, and user email. Okay, right. So this is actually kind of some lengthy task of writing HTML. You can So how is the users coming from? Users, okay. So if I write products here, const products id1 name, let's write MacBook Pro, right? So let's write another phone product id2 name, let's write something not iPhone, something else, Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, okay. So now if I write products here, products column products, right? We don't need actually title here because we have already put our title there. Okay, so inside our user.html, let's create another UL. Products dot for each. Let's choose add a function user. Okay. Let's write not write li, simple. We want to write this product name. Product, wait a minute, I should be writing product here. Product dot name, because we have name here. Product dot name. For now I'm just checking it if it's working. So wait a minute. We have to also close it, and percentage. Wow. Okay, we have used the incorrect function for each, products for each. Okay, we have this, right? Can I use class name here? Let me use class products. If I write inside style.css products, display flex direction column. Inside of style.css we have used this. Okay. Our products is working now. Let's write EGS class name. How we can add class for EGS? They are using class. Okay, they're using class. Right, just write class here. Products. Let's check it by writing background color black. Let's close it. Okay, we're working. It's working. So I had to put it inside some p tags. Let me put it inside some p tags. So now it should be working. Okay, our style is now applied. Okay, so we have the example for EGS, right? So there are other examples. Cookie sessions, cookies, downloads. We will use res.download to download a file. Okay, so what they have written. Okay, we'll implement this code now. Just close the EGS. I think we have properly implemented the EGS. For EGS, we have first use the app engine HTML and require EGS, right? You also need to install the EGS, right? So view engine is HTML. So after that, inside our routes, I have created EGS.js. Inside this, I have created users. You can write const here. And there are users, these are products, and inside router.get you can render these arrays, the data inside this array, inside this render, or even short form. You can do the short form. Just remove this. If you have a key value with the same name, you can just remove the value, it will still work, right? So that's AGS. After that we have used I have created views folder. Inside this I have created users.html, headers.html. Inside users.html this is included header.html. Okay, so the header.html we have the title and some meta tags, right? So the link for style sheet is style sheets style.css. Inside this style sheets style.css, our style sheet will be applied. All right, so we have connected the public folder with this path.join directory name public. So that's how it worked. So this is the style.css, right? So it was working under /egs. So now we will close this. So we'll go to the download example. We are almost 1 hour 121 minutes. Okay, now implement the download example. For that I will be doing is just creating another route, download.js. Inside routes, download, I will import here download. I'm giving the name code download, and I will import from routes download.js. I will also write here download. Now what our code is will be written inside this download file. We have used express, then router, express to router. We have to also import it. Module.exports is equals to router. So you have to write it inside every route file. So now we have this example. Okay, so we have to first write a path for our files, right? So for that let's use the path library here. Path is equals to require path. Now we'll write files path.join directory name, then files. So I will create a new folder names files. Okay, so I will just copy the same express.png and file.txt file here. I will paste here. Okay, we have our files inside this. One is express.png, it is a PNG image, and one is simple text file. So what we will be implementing is the download feature. Okay, so in this we will use this, we will place the app with router and get as usual convert into the arrow function. because we do not want to use the older function types. Inside the UL there is some links. We are sending some HTML download HTML files, but our file's name is file.txt. Let me open this. This is file.txt. href files.txt and nodes. I'll be writing it as file.txt, simple. And here we have express.png, and here again I will write express.png. Express, or I can write something else, express.png. So if I go to our local host and I go to download example, okay, now we have list download file.txt, but download feature is not implemented here, so we will implement that here. One thing to note is that if we're writing some get or post inside app, you can use the app, but if you want to use somewhere else, like some path, you have to use the router. So that's why for every get request I'm using it with the router. So inside our files, file static sign, right, request response next rest or download. So to download we are using the download method of response, right? So request or parameters dot file. Okay, we will be writing file name here. Okay, root is files directory. Is in our case it's files. Files path, or you can also use file directory here. I will use files directory here. So here is the error. If there is an error, if not error, return file is sent. Okay, if error, next non 404 error for file for download not found, cannot find, says sorry. Okay, so inside our download, let's just download it. Wait a minute, I think we have put our wrong address here. Okay, it's a file.txt. Okay, now we go to again download. If I click on this, it's getting file.txt. If I check express png, cannot get. There's some issue with for files. I think it is one folder above, if I'm not wrong. let's write this line at the top of our code. Let's write it here. Const files directory path.join directory files. Okay, I think we cannot do it here. We have to do it there in the download. Yes. So file is accessed via request.params 0 request.params.file. So we have done it correctly. Files. I think it should be above this folder, because the routes our file is inside this routes. So to go into this, we will be using /files, right? So after that, let's download. I think our path is download. Yes, our path is download slash, because we are not at the root path, we are inside this download path, download slash files slash file.txt. I think now it should work. Right, it has downloaded our file.txt. Right, so if I again download express.png, it has downloaded our express.png. That's great. So even our download feature is implemented. Hello Yazikutayam, hello JRT, hello everyone. Hey and hello ZRT, how are you doing? So our download feature is now implemented. So what we have done is actually okay, I will explain from the start. First I have make a route download slash it's at the slash download, and this is the download route I have imported from routes download. Inside our routes download, I have this download.js file, and we have to import express, then router, then path. I have joined the path with files. I have created a file inside this. Files is at the root path, at the root of our folder, and we have png file and txt file. And now here we have link download. If I have to give a simple example, let me remove this. So let me also remove this. So this is the very basic example. Like This is the anchor tag, that is href. Href path is download files.txt. So we want to download our file at this path, download file.txt, right? So I click on this, wait, download slash files slash file.txt. So if I click on this, my file is downloaded, right? So that's how it works. So inside the router.get we have these files, and then colon file. It is a dynamic parameters, so that's why they have used request.params.file. Okay, request params and dot file, because this is a file. Or you can use anything like it here, like I can use item here, then I have to use item here, and this root is files directory. This is direct, we have used path to join directory name with the files, right? These are files. So after that, if there is an error, this is a callback function. This whole callback function is for error. If not error, then return file is sent. If there is an error, if the error is non-404 error, then return next error. If the response, set the response code to 404, response.send cannot find that file, sorry. Let me check. Let me enter the file one. Files, file, okay, can't find that file, sorry. Or okay, so we are streaming, right? So let me close this. So our download feature is implemented. Okay. So let's explore some more examples of Express. We explored cookies, downloads. We are just exploring the important stuff here. We explored EGS, now error pages. Error, hello world. We have, I think, already implemented hello world. Markdown. So Markdown is also important. Multi-route, multi-part, MVC, online, params, resource, route map, route middleware, search. What is the search? This is the error page. They have again used EGS for here. App.enable verbose errors, our custom verbose errors setting, which can use in the templates via settings. Verbose errors. Okay. Error handling middleware take the same form as regular middleware. How they require an array of 4, a call signature, error request response. Next, which when connect has an error, it will invoke only error handling middleware. Okay, so this is example of error. We will come to this example later. Let's see what is the install. Install Redis first. Okay. Here they have used Redis create client. Was populate search. Okay, get search query. Okay, this is an interesting example. I will explore this. Redis.io. Just explore Redis. The open source in-memory data store used by millions of developers as a database, cache, streaming engine, and message broker. So Redis is used by so many people. Okay, we will install Redis. Just close this. Now again I am like with the same example. Let's create another route, search.js. We will be implementing search logic in here. I will close download.js. Now just root and just use app.use. We will make it search. We will implementing the search code here, and just like a download, we are using search. Just name the variable search, and we'll use required to get the search JSON routes search. And inside the search we will, just like here, we use Express router, right? And of course module.exports to export it, router. We have to install Redis first. We have to install Redis, npm I Redis. Okay, so Redis is installed. We will close this tab of terminal. Our app is running successfully. Close this now. Okay, first we will also use the Redis library. Require Redis. Okay, now after that, we have already used in our app. Then after that, populate search db.sadd. Okay, populating search. Okay, now where is the db? Okay, if we have to first create the Redis client with the db const db is equals to redis dot create client. We created the client. Now db dot sadd. Okay, db dot sadd. there is a with a capital, but inside this A is small. Let's see if it's work. Okay, it's now capital. For now, just close our Postman because we're not using it right now. Okay, so just copy, like ferret, right ferret. Toby. We will copy the other code from here. We have to write the capital A here. I think that is some old example, that's why they have used small a. So now inside our app we are querying search query. We will implementing the search query. We will replace app with router. Now router.get the search. We are also already using search here, so we will remove it from here. We will only use /query. Okay, function request response query is equal to request dot params dot query. Okay, here is a query db.sMembers. Let's check db.sMembers. Okay, so I think it's capital M now. db.sMembers, this query, then function error, wells. If error, return this error, otherwise send with the response the wells, like values. So have we implemented our search get client JavaScript? Here we use send file because server interacting with static middleware would also mean serving our server index.js search.j template. Have they used client dot? They have used client.js. What's it? Document query selector, type search, query selector. They have used some JavaScript here. Advent listener, key up. Okay, we will come to this later. Just to explore this code. Let's close this and let's go to our local host. So our now path is search, then we will write any query. For example, write cat. It's not working. Error. The client is closed. So we have some Redis error, client closed. So what is you should await client connect before using client. Really? Create client from Redis, client is wait client connect. Okay. From Redis, we will import create client. Now, then we will what it is, client, create client, and then we will await client dot connect. Just close it. Again we will clear the terminal. Again we will start our server. Again we have error. Just use the simple client dot connect. Let's see if the error goes. Oh, wait a minute, Redis create. Okay, so this is a simple client. So let's see if now it's working. So I think I have not used the client, Redis client. Client closed, client is closed. Node application would throw out the message client closed, the client is closed, even having connect and disconnect for each current code. Redis is used frequently in program. Redis initiated when starting the program. I will use the same client to stuff. Wait. Have they used anything to await? Let's check the Redis documentation. Redis.io. Get started. Connect. You can connect Redis in the following way. Redis CLI command line tool. Okay. With that select user graphical user interface. Redis Node.js. We have installed Redis. Then create client from Redis. Client is create client. Let me use it here. starting from client error. Okay, just remove this line. Again, our error is client is closed. Client is closed. Let me check what this is. Client is closed. Get Hey Triparnasina, thank you so much. Okay. You have sent so many messages. Thank you. Thank you, Triparna, for watching. Thanks for suggestions. I will read all your suggestions later on. Thank you. So we are almost now in the 2 hours window. Okay, so I have not used Redis for now, but we are facing some errors in Node.js. They are using await, but how? So for search example, we need a Redis client, so Redis server. Okay, these are install Redis first. We install it, then npm install Redis. Redis server. Is there an npm Redis server? Redis server. Okay, there is an npm Redis server. Okay, what? Install Redis first. Redis.io. Wait a minute. How is it installed? Redis. Install Redis on Linux, Mac OS, and Windows. This is an installation guide. You will learn to install and expand with Redis server. Install Redis on Mac OS. I am on Mac OS. So use Homebrew to install Redis on Mac OS. First, make sure you have Homebrew installed from terminal. Run brew version. Let's check if we have. Let's close this. Brew version. Command not found. Nodes. Brew. Okay, we have already installed Homebrew, so it will work. We have already installed Homebrew. From terminal on brew install Redis. Brew install Redis. We are installing the Redis here. Till it's installing, I will be back in like 5 minutes. Hello, I'm back again. So our Redis is installed now. So what after that? We have installed starting and stopping Redis in foreground. Test your Redis installation. You can run Redis server executable from command line. Okay, we'll write Redis server. Okay, so our Redis has, I think Redis is starting. Okay, our Redis is started, I think, at port 6379. Great. If successful, you will see a startup logs. Yes, we are seeing the startup logs for Redis, and Redis will be running in foreground. Right, stopping Redis using launch chd. Okay, connect to Redis. Once Redis running, you can test it by running Redis CLI. Okay, so we have installed Redis. So let's again clear the terminal and start our app. Again, we are seeing client is closed. I think just close the app, search. So here they are saying first install Redis, then install Redis. We installed it. Then Redis server. Okay, we have done that. We have done everything. Again, we are seeing our client is closed. Connect to Redis. Once Redis running, you can test it by running Redis CLI. Let's write Redis CLI. Okay. We'll write this command. Redis is running and there's no problem in that. Connect. Then connect. We will see how we can connect it. Okay, command line. So actually, there's so much about Redis that still need to be learned. But we have installed the Redis. It has started. But our example is not working properly. There are some issues in this example. I think we'll make another video on Redis and cover the Redis CLI or the whole Redis extensively. Redis ping, Redis user. Okay. Okay, for now we'll close it. And search for other examples. So again, let's open Express.js. We have covered like hello world, covered in the previous live stream, express generator, right? So express generator has generated, let's close this. If I open folder, my app, this is okay, great for Monakai Pro. Okay, so if you run express generator, like npx express generator, it will generate a template for you, so you don't have to create all the folders. It's already created for you, and it has used Jade here. What's Jade? I think it's another template engine. Okay, it's deprecated. Jade template engine. I think this is a very old engine, so we'll not use this. Okay, after that there is basic routing. We have covered static files. There is a guide for routing. There was writing middleware, using middleware, overriding Express API using template. We have used EGS already, error handling, debugging, Express behind proxies. There are database integration. So there are lots of database that you can integrate with your Express.js. So in the next live stream tomorrow, I will be covering MongoDB, how we can connect with the MongoDB, and we will cover extensively about the MongoDB, and MongoDB Atlas and other things, Mongo Compass, right? So in the API reference, advanced topics, there is an advanced topic in process managers, performance best practices. We'll also read that. Okay, this is very like deep thing. If your app is running in the production and you want to increase your app performance, like server performance, use gzip compression. Don't use synchronous functions. Do logging correctly. Handle exceptions properly. So these are the things when we have already implemented your Express.js app, right? So what we'll be reading now is, first we'll read routing. Okay. I'm from India, Tripama Sina. I'm from India. So routing. Routing refers to how an application endpoints URL respond, and we can use different app method like app.get, app.post, app.put, and you can use app.to and lost HTTP methods. App.use used to specify as a callback function, like we have used in our wait a minute, let me open our code. This is app.js. We have used app.js We use app.use to use some middlewares, like we have used cookie parser, Express.js, body parser. These are middlewares that we use with the app.use. So what we are learning is next. In fact, routing methods can have more than one callback functions as arguments. The multiple callback function, it is important to provide next as an argument to the callback function, then call next within body function to hand off control to next callback. The following example is a very basic route. Okay, this is very basic app.get. At this path, we are sending response hello world route methods. There is a get method, there is a post method. Here is a full list of methods that we can use. We can use checkout, copy, delete, get, lock, merge, notify. Okay, options, batch, purge, put, track, unlock. Okay, we can use put, we can use delete. Let me just zoom out a little bit. Okay, app.get, we have used that. It's a very simple app.post. This is the post a request, put, so with this specific callback functions. Put is used just like get or post method. For let's test it. In our users controller, we will make another. Let's see what's put command. Get, post, put, delete, Node.js. So these are the commands. So get is usually used to retrieve resources, right? Like here we are using get to get the user, right? So post is used to add resources, like add some things, used to update. So I think where we are using update, we are using actually post, right? So I think for update we should be using put, right? So for add router dot post, for adding something we should be using the post, right? And for update we should be using put. Here I will write another method, add user. We have get user, we have already created update user. Now we will create add user. Tomorrow I will be to a live stream. I will cover MongoDB, and we will just use all the MongoDB methods inside of this. Currently this is doing nothing, just sending the plain response, JSON response. But tomorrow we will get to know how we can add some data, update the data, and get the data, right? So const, we will just get the ID, request.body. Inside our postman, let's close it, open our postman. Now inside our post with the user update. We are already sending it. We can actually write it as .json message user with ID created, or I can say added or created. We can do both. And this add user we will use with the user outs user controller dot add user, right? So in this postman, I will inside the body user add. Inside the body we have ID, name, city, and then if you send it, we're using post. We are using, wait a minute, user outs, user add, then add. Okay, it's okay. We have not started our server. Let's close all this. Node.mon app. What is this error? Route.post requires a callback function but got an object. Add user. What is add user? Let's just close this. Again run our app. There is some issue. Route.post. In the route.post, where is the error? Route.post. Okay, user controller dot add user, users controller add user. Okay, we have not exported it. Now it will be working. Also in the search we are getting the error, so we will just comment the whole code. Okay, what is the search? Just comment it. Now our server is working. Go to postman, send it. Right, we get the message user with ID 4 created. Right, so forget delete, we have get user. For adding, we are using post request. For getting the data, we are using get request. Now for updating, we will use put command, user controller update user. Update user request.body. So we will create a new route inside it, user slash update, and we are using put to update it. And inside body, we will use raw, again JSON, and again we will just, like, suppose we want to change the same record, right? So inside put, okay, so I want to write, okay, it's okay, send it. Yeah, it's working. User with ID 4 updated. Our, now you can see get is, what is this? This is post. Okay, this post is cat user like 2. Okay, this is our get command, this is our post command, right? Post is to add something, like if we have changed to 5 inside our body, let's write check here, send it, like ID 5 created. And if put, inside put we will update it, like send, right? User with the ID 5 updated. So we have used get post put, and after that there is usually delete to delete a record. All right, we'll create a new math function inside our controller, delete user request response. For deletion, we just want ID from body, right? So rest.json, we will send a message inside JSON, use the backticks, user with ID deleted, delete user. Okay, we will also export it, delete user. In the user routes, we will use this user controller dot delete user. So we will again create a new delete, and inside this we will just copy it, user. Now we'll use the delete, and inside body we just want to send ID, right? ID like 5, just like put it 10 here. Let's try to send it, user with ID 10 deleted. So we have our delete route, right? So we have like all the basic routes here, like get to get the user, to post the user, post means to add, put means to delete, update the user, sorry, put means to update the user, and delete is to delete the user. So we have covered the routing paths, but there are so many other methods. These are used in some other use cases. We will use the database integration. Okay, route paths. Okay, so if you want your routes like in the format of this, like it can be ACD or ABCD, you can use this path. So this, like if we use plus inside our routes, it will match ABCD, ABBCD, okay, ABBCD, and so on. I mean, first it should start with A, then there can be any number of B's, like 1, 2, or 3 B's, then CD. Okay. This route path will match ABCD, ABXCD, like anything can be inside ABCD, right? So this route will match ABE. Okay, ABCDE. Okay, there can be ABCDE or ABE. This route will path match anything with an A in it, but we will not use like something like this in the production, right? This is how we can actually get the params. If in the route you send a data with a colon, right? So that means it will be inside the requester params. Like here, get user, it's inside request.params because we are sending this with 2 and we have written the colon ID here, right? Flights. You can also put your route as a format, like inside flights. Route path we can colon from, then hyphen, then colon 2. So if you put flights slash lex hyphen sfo, lex will be from and sf0 will be 2. So in the requesters parameters, you have lex and 2, right? You can also use regular expressions if you want. I've also covered a video on my channel for Ajax. You can watch that. So route handlers. You can write multiple words that behave like middlewares to handle requests. The only exception is that these callbacks might invoke next route. Okay, that's what we want to learn. Hello py. Py with vanilla.js, you have to like use the Node.js itself. You do not have to, you can't use like anything else. You have to explore extensively like Node.js. So that's not recommended. So Express, in the Express, everything is covered for you. So that's why you should use a framework for Node.js, because they have covered the very basic things for you, like routing, like handling static files and some other things like template engines. For Node.js, I think that's so much work for you. So where we were, okay, we were reading the route handlers. How much? We are almost into 3 hours. We will be covering 3 hours today. That's great. Route handlers. You can provide multiple callback functions that behave like middleware to handle requests. The only exception is that these callbacks might invoke next route to bypass remaining route callbacks. You can use this mechanism to impose preconditions on a route, then pass control to subsequent routes if there's no reason to proceed with the current route. Route handlers can be in the form of a function, an array of functions, a combination of both. A single call function can handle a route, for example. Okay. This is a callback. It can handle a route. More than one callback function can handle a route. Okay, this is another thing of handling the next. Let's try it inside our example. Now we will use the next, the third parameter inside this. Okay, so so that means we can create like suppose, so first we want to get user, then we want to get a message. It's just example, request response, and let's send request.send user details fetched. Right, so inside this we can actually create more callbacks. User controller dot get message. So we'll import this also, get message, sorry, export, we will export this also, get message. So inside our postman, if we get this, we should be getting a message. Oh, we have not used next. We have to use next. So I think with next, this will go to the next controller method we have used after that. So after that we have get user of, we have used this get message. So it will say user details fetched. Okay, it's working or not working? Wait a minute. Okay, if we have so now it's going to next message, user details fetched, right? Okay, response is sent only once. We can send it here, then it will not go to next. If we have send it here, it will okay, so that is what the next do. It will go to the next callback function inside our route. So here, for example, in the routes, so we have used one get user, right? So then you get message. If I remove this, then it will say users details fetched. We can put it into JSON. Then user details fetched. Okay, so we get to know what is the purpose of next inside these callbacks. An array of callback functions can handle a route. Really? You can even put the functions inside an array and provide into this get, like here. I can put it here. If you have so many functions, it's working. So they are using next to go to the next, right? So this is the methods of response that we can use with the response test.download. We have just used that, which is a prompt to get the file downloaded, right? So res.end and the response res.json send its JSON response, like we are using here. We are sending the JSON response, right? JSON piece and JSON response JSON piece port. We direct a request. Okay. Okay, render review template. We have used that to use the EGS. Send a response of various types. Send a file on an act.stream. Send a status. This was all about routes. You can read it by yourself if you want to. So there is a article writing middleware for using Express apps. And there is article for process managers for Express apps. When you run Express production itself, to use a process manager to restart the app automatically if it crashes. This is beneficial if you have a app running in the backend, right? Express app that you are using for production. Gain insights into runtime performance and resource consumption, like how much resource your app is consuming, how much CPU cores or CPU memory it's using. Modify settings dynamically to improve performance, control clustering. Okay, so PM2 is the main thing, or I can say tool developers use to handle the process manager, right? The PM2. There is also forever to ensure that script runs continuously. Forever simply interface makes ideal for running smaller deployments of Node.js. It's for smaller deployments. PM2 is more streamlined, right? PM2 process manager, advanced production process manager for Node.js. That's PM2. These are some of the features of PM2. like it supports behavior configuration, container integration, watch and reload, log management, monitoring, module system, max memory reload, cluster mode, host reload, development workflow, start scripts, deployment workflow, PAS compatible, key metrics. There are so many things you can do. Monitoring. It's a demo process manager that will help you manage keep your application online 24/7. Let's try it. Let's install it. Npm install pm2. Let's install it globally. So our pm2 package is installed. Okay. So what a complete features are to production environment built with worldwide web community of developers and enterprises. We will write pm2 start app.js. Let's clear it. pm2 start app.js. Wow, our process manager is started. Great. For Node.js applications with a built-in load balancer, spawn pm2 successfully demonized. pm2 done. Okay, its name is app. It's for status. CPU use 0%, memory 2 MB. Okay. Let's write pm2 monitor. pm2 monitor. Okay, it's now monitoring our app, right? So if we wait a minute, let's send anything, like send a get request. Something working? Send it, send it, send it, send it. It's not working actually. There are so many things actually we can do. pm2 list. Just close this. We will run pm2 list. pm2 list. There are a list of things. Status error, CPU usage. pm2 start app.js started online. CPU 0%, memory 1.8 MB. We will write clear it pm2 list. Again error. First it's online, then it's errored. Why? Okay, this is more beneficial when you have a production grade app, Express app running. So that's when you want to use pm2. So its main task is to restart the app automatically if it crashes, right? It has a built-in load balancer. It enables you to keep your application alive forever, reloads them without downtime, and helps you to manage application logging, monitoring, and clustering. So it's can be very beneficial if you're using like AWS or GCP, something else. So these are what the process manager is for, right? So here we have a middleware. How we can write the middleware for use in Express. Khayor Hussain is asking us your VS Code theme. It is Monokai Pro. So if you, I will show you appearance activity bar side. So if you go to themes, color theme, I am using Monokai Pro filter machine. Actually there is Monokai Pro, but I don't like it that much. I like the Monokai Pro filter machine. This is good. So I'm using Monokai Pro, right? So just hide it. So this is how we can use middleware, right? So we are almost passing the 3 hours mark, right? Using the middleware, Express is a routing and middleware web framework that has minimal functionality of its own. An Express application is essentially a series of middleware function calls. Middleware functions are functions that have access to request object. Okay, they have access to request object and the response object. And the next middleware function in the application request response cycle. The next middleware function is commonly denoted by variable named next. So next middleware function, this is the next middleware function, and you call inside your functions. You can execute any code inside middleware. You can execute any code, make changes to the request and response objects, and the request response cycle call the next middleware function in the stack. The current middleware function does not and request response cycle, it must call next to pass control next middleware function. Otherwise, the request will be left hanging. An Express application use the following types of middlewares: application level middleware. So application level middleware, let's see what it is. Application bind application level to an instance of app object by using app.use, then app.method function, where method is HTTP method or request that the middleware function handles, such as get, put, post in lowercase. This example shows a middleware function with no mount path. Okay, this function executes every time the app receives a request. So let's write a middleware function. We will make it name it custom middleware. So with this we can actually modify our request and response. Because we will always use middleware with app.use, right? So after that we will put request response next. So this is a custom middleware. I have used it at the root app.js. So this function will execute first time when you send any request, like from post, right? So we can use anything like console.log time date dot now Yes, then after that we want to mm, transfer the control to next request that is sent by user. So now open our terminal console log, close this. Okay, so now let's send a request. There must be console log, right? You can choose the middleware function mounted on user ID path. Function execute and type user ID. Okay. Let's try to do the same thing inside our user routes. Router.use this, and let's again send request. Right now in our router level, this is, I think, we have just implemented a router level middleware. App level middleware just didn't work actually. I don't know why. This example shows the middleware function with no mount path. Okay, the function executes every time the app receives a request. Okay. So this is the time. So again we will send it. Again it is checking the time. The any request we send, this middleware, router middleware will work. So this is actually middleware. Middleware means it will be executed before our request or response is executed. So first it is console logging this time by date.now, then it is sending the control to next I can say route that the user is trying to get, right? Like if we use this or if we use this, as you can see, it is again updating the time every time this middleware is gets called. So that's router level middleware. So after that, error handling middleware. Error handling middleware always takes 4 arguments. You must provide 4 arguments to identify it as an error handling middleware. Even if you don't need to use it, the next object, you must specify it to maintain the signature. Otherwise, the next object will be interpreted as a regular middleware and will fail to handle errors. So for error middleware, we have to use error request response and next. Okay, define error handling middleware function the same as middleware function except with the 4 arguments instead of 3. So what we will use is we will use the error middleware router dot use error wait a minute, error request response next. Console dot error dot stack. We have used this error parameter, right? So we are sending status as 500. Let's check it. Dot send Now we will sending some response, something broke. Now we'll again send a request. Let's comment it again, send the request. And there is no error right now. If I this send users, okay, for what's error handling? Error handling. This is covered in error handling, built-in middleware. Okay, we have already used built-in middlewares. So about built-in middlewares, we have used this like body parser to get the response or the body response from request. Like here we have used the request.body. Otherwise request.body will be undefined if we would have not used this body parser.json. And then express.json, then cookie parser. We have covered example of cookies, and then static express.static to join the path. So these are the built-in middlewares of Express. Then there are third-party middleware, just like I have told, cookie parser. This is a third-party middlewares. You have to actually install them, but some of them like path or I think body parser are already available. No, not actually path. The static and JSON are already inbuilt, right? This JSON and static express.json and express.static are built-in middlewares, right? And there are third-party middlewares like cookie parser. So these are all about middlewares, right? So you can actually use the middlewares, third-party or built-in, or you can create your own middlewares. Like in routes, you can, I'm commenting this, you can like use a middleware. It will run before every request. So if you want to do something with your request, okay, before receiving the request you want to do something, you can do it here. We are almost reaching 200 views. Thank you everyone. Now error handling. So error handling refers to how Express catches and processes errors that occur both synchronously and asynchronously. Express comes with the default error handler, so you don't need to write your own. To get started catching error, it's wanted to ensure that Express catches all errors that occur while running route handlers and middleware. Errors that occur in synchronous code inside route handlers and middleware requires no extra work. If synchronous code throws an error, then Express will catch and process it. For example, Express will catch this on its own. Let's try it. In our controller, right, throw new error. Broken. So now just send the get request. Wait a minute, let me send the correct route. Error is broken. Okay, so this is handled by Express.js. So this is synchronous error. For errors returned from asynchronous function invoked by route handlers and middleware, you must pass them to next. Suppose that we are reading file and for example here get user by ID. Starting the Express 5, route handlers and middleware that return promise will call next value automatically when they reject or throw an error. But we are not using Express 5 here. So suppose we read a file that doesn't exist. We have to pass the error in the next, else response.send data. Now we're going to use a try catch block to catch error in the instant code and pass them to Express. If try catch block were omitted, Express would not catch error since it's not part of synchronous code handler. Okay. So this is all about error handlers. So we have almost reached 200 views and 18 likes. Thank you everyone for supporting this stream. So we have covered lots of things of Express, like inside this we have covered in app.js. We have first covered really basic examples. We have covered routes, and we have created routes folder for that, and we have also covered how you can use the static files. Like we have always have our static file inside our public folder, and after that we have made controllers for users controllers and product controllers, where we can actually write our logic for our routes, right? These are our routes I have created, and for that I have made a function in the controller, right? Same thing happened for products controller, right? So after that we have covered the session. We can create the session. For that we have to use Express session, right? This is a very good example. You can watch this stream, and I have also used cookies. So for cookies we have used cookie parser, right? So after that we have example for download, how we can make this work, right? For that we have to use res.download. Then we have implemented the template engine EGS, and this is we have to actually create views. For that views folder we have created here. So EGS is the template engine that can handle the HTML in our backend, like users.html, header.html. It has covered the all. So also there are style sheets that we have put in our public folder. So these are also will be rendered by EGS, right? So this is the things we have covered. Right, so we have also covered the get, post, put and delete routes. We have also covered the custom middleware, how we can process them, right? So these are all like some very basic stuff of Express. So yeah, so that's all. So thank you all for watching this stream, right? So tomorrow I will be live at around 9 a.m. right? So thank you all.